So in this walkthrough, I'm going to demonstrate how I troubleshoot a multi-site enterprise network where users were reporting a mix of issues, things like intermittent connectivity, DHCP failures, and DNS resolution problems. So the environment here is designed to simulate an inherited enterprise network built using a hub and spoke WAN architecture. At the HQ site, we've got centralized services. So DHCP and DNS are both running off the main infrastructure server. Then we've got 3 branch locations all connected through the WAN hub router. Routing between all sites is handled using EIGRP, and each branch is segmented using VLANs with router on a stick for inter-VLAN routing. During testing, a few issues came up. Branch clients weren't getting DHCP addresses, there was intermittent connectivity back to HQ, and hostname resolution was failing. So the first thing I want to do is just verify basic connectivity from a branch site to the centralized server at HQ. So this does not work, which tells me that the layer 3 connectivity is not present. And I'll try the same thing using the host name. And that fails as well. So at this point, I know the network cannot reach the server by IP, and DNS resolution isn't working either. So now I'm thinking this could be routing, server configuration, or something specifically blocking DNS traffic. Since everything depends on routing between sites, the next step is to validate that EIGRP is working properly across the WAN. So first, let's check the neighbor relationships. So I can see that all the expected neighbors are up, which means the routing domain itself is established. Next, I want to check the routing table to make sure all branch networks are actually being learned. And as you can see here, 10.14.81.0/24 route is not present. So now I'm going to look at the EIGRP configuration on branch B. And right away I can see the issue. One of the branch networks isn't being advertised. Specifically the VLAN 20 subnet 10.14.81.0/24 is missing from EIGRP. So what that means is HQ doesn't have a return path to that network, which explains the intermittent connectivity issues. So to fix that, I'll go ahead and add the missing network into EIGRP. Okay, now I'll verify that the route is showing up properly. And there it is right there. You can see now the subnet is in the routing table, so routing conversions must be restored. Next issue is DHCP. Users at one of the branch sites aren't getting IP addresses. So let's check that client out. And yeah, no valid IP. So DHCP definitely isn't working here. So this design DHCP is centralized at HQ, which means the branch router needs to relay requests using a helper address. First, I'll check the interfaces. The interface is up, so layer 3 looks fine, but I don't see a helper address configured on the VLAN 20 sub-interface. So without that, DHCP requests will probably never reach the server. So I'll go ahead and add the helper address. Now let's go back and check the client and renew the release. Now get the valid IP along with the correct gateway and DNS settings. So DHCP must be working again. At this point, DHCP is fixed, but DNS is still probably failing. So before assuming it's a network issue, I want to confirm that the services themselves are actually working. So here I can see that the DHCP server has active pools configured for all the branch networks. These define the IP ranges, gateways, and DNS settings. Some clients are getting leases. DHCP looks good from the server side. Now I'll check DNS. A service is running. You can see the internal records including srv1.company.local. So the DNS server itself is working, which means the issue is likely between the client and the server, not the service itself. So just to confirm the behavior again, and IP connectivity works. And hostname resolution still fails. So now I'm confident that DNS traffic isn't reaching the server. Now in a real environment, sometimes people just jump straight to replacing endpoints or reinstalling systems when they see issues like these. But that usually just treats the symptoms, not the actual problem. If the issue is in the network, you could end up with unnecessary hardware swaps, extra costs, and more downtime. So the better approach is to systematically validate routing, services, and security policies first. So at this point, routing looks good, and services are running. So now I want to check security policies at the WAN edge. And the problem is right here. I can see ACL entries explicitly blocking DNS traffic. Both the statement 10 and statement 20 denying UDP and TCP. So DNS requests are being dropped before they even reach the server. So I will go ahead and remove those statements. Now I'll test DNS again. and now it resolved successfully. So DNS is fully restored. So for final validation, I'll just confirm everything is stable across the network. And routing is finally stable. DHCP is working across branches and DNS resolution is functioning correctly. So overall, the issues came down to three main problems. One is a missing EIGRP route advertisement at branch B. Two, a missing DHCP relay configuration at branch C. And three, an ACL blocking DNS traffic at the WAN hub. Once those were fixed, full connectivity and service access were restored across the network.